You're listening to The FWOT Show, episode 147 for June 8th, 2015. He said... Welcome to The FWOT Show, where you'll get all the news you need to know, and probably some you don't, all in about 10 minutes. I'm your host, Rob Steele, and let's get started with a little goof that I did on Friday's show. I know, during the intro, I do the date, just so you know, when the show came out. I said July. Oops. You figured it out. You didn't even notice, did you? That's okay. Apparently a radio station in Oregon that will remain nameless noticed. They complained. They'll have to get over it. And now on to the show. And a new segment. Well, actually I'm not sure if this is going to be a regular segment or not. This is the first installment of the Are You Out of Your Goddamn Mind quote of the week. Like I said, could be a regular segment, but this one might just be the dumbass quote of the year. It comes from Maine Representative Lawrence Lockman. He's a Republican. He said, quote, "If a woman has a right to an abortion, why shouldn't a man be free to use his superior strength to force himself on a woman?" Really? I don't even think I need time for that to sink in. And does anyone else want to see him try to use his superior strength to force himself on, I don't know, how about Ronda Rousey? You thought her UFC fights were already short. 16-second knockout, a 14-second submission? No, this one could easily be a 10-second death. And I might even approve. It would get great ratings. Let's see if we can set this match up somewhere. In more He Said news, Republican Representative Louis Gohmert asked Thursday on the floor of the U.S. House whether President Barack Obama might actually be a terrorist. Really? A terrorist? The concept is that Obama is calling for the destruction of Israel. Gohmert says, quote, "When people make clear that they are going to commit murder or genocide, how long do you have to wait before it is okay to stop them?" What? Am I the only one who remembers this whole let's go to Iraq and bomb the crap out of them when they did, what did they do to us again? Nothing. And they had the potential to, let's see, was it use weapons of mass destruction? Actually, no it wasn't, because they didn't have any. So apparently, it's okay for Republicans to attack countries and commit genocide and murder, although not necessarily in that order. But if the president does it, and he's a Democrat, we can't have that, because that's the American way. Boy, howdy. In yet even more He Said news, Rick Santorum opened his mouth this week. Really? Was that absolutely necessary? He said that the Pope, and you know it's going downhill from here, Rick Santorum says the Pope needs to keep out of climate change and climate change discussions because unless he's a scientist, what does he know about it? Well, Pope Francis has a master's degree in chemistry. That kind of does make him a scientist there, Ricky boy. Maybe you should leave talking to people with brain cells. I've heard you talk a few times, and I'm not sure you have any. Here's something you really wanted to hear on a Monday morning. According to an article in Time magazine, ASAP Science has discovered that coffee increases the levels of cortisol in your body. It does it with caffeine. Well, there's a shock. And that drinking it in the morning is probably not the best thing to do. According to a study, the best time to drink coffee, or even any kind of caffeine, is between 10 a.m. and noon, and between 2 p.m. and 5. Any other time you drink it, it throws off the cortisol levels in your body and makes you more dependent on caffeine. Just a thought. Might want to give it a try sometime. I know I did. I can't even take the smell of coffee. Of course, this is me being an American, and that Oregon radio station is going to say that I'm against Starbucks now. Oh, darn. You ever get confused or mistaken for someone else? Well, here's a bizarre case of it. Adam Armstrong, a student in the United Kingdom, asked his girlfriend's stepfather to help book him a ticket on a Ryanair flight. Now, you'd think that'd be easy enough. Apparently, Adam had to go to class and was supposed to get out and then get on a plane. Well, his girlfriend's stepfather accidentally used the wrong last name and booked a flight for Adam West. Oops. The stepfather said it was kind of a joke because Adam West is the guy who played Batman on TV and Adam Armstrong was a fan. Well, you'd think that'd be easy enough to fix. However, when they got to Ryanair and tried to get the ticket and explain his name's Adam Armstrong, not Adam West, he was presented with a £220 administration fee. Well, there's an easier way around that, because that's an exorbitant fee, so he went downtown and had his name legally changed to Adam West for £103. Less than half. That way he could go ahead and use the ticket under the name Adam West. Because when you're Batman, there's ways around anything, and you can get anything done if you are Batman. And he was, apparently. Over the weekend, American Pharoah has won the Triple Crown of Horse Race. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. I don't care. In Land O'Lakes, Florida, a teacher named Dean Liptak has been placed on 5-day unpaid suspension from the school where he teaches because he brought a cell phone jammer and jammed up the phones that his students were using in class while he was lecturing because he wanted them to listen to the lecture in the class instead of using the cell phones. Because that's what they're there for, listening to the teacher and not playing Candy Crush. The reason for the suspension is allegedly safety concerns. What if they need to call 911? Well, then you do what I did when I was in school. Because I didn't have cell phones when I went to school. If we needed to call 911, we went to the office and used a landline, or what we called in those days, a telephone. I don't think the school board realizes that kids don't pay attention when they have phones in class. I know I sure as hell wouldn't. So, kudos to the teacher. Keep it up. There is yet another meme wandering around that bugs me because people just don't get it. It says, how can minimum wage only be for fast food workers and not for cops and firemen and soldiers? Well, and pass this around, I think cops, firemen, and soldiers, and ambulance drivers, and all those kinds of people need to be making more than minimum wage. You know what they're making now? They're making minimum wage. They're on food stamps. Meanwhile, the guys who own the crap stores that aren't giving out minimum wage, yes, they're making billions of dollars. And yes, Buffy, we must figure out what kind of yacht we want to buy this year. You know what? F*** them. Give the money to the people who actually work for a living. If you agree with me, spectacular. If you don't, feel free to argue with me. Like Oregon. Go to the website, FWOTShow.com, and you know what? Don't forget to pass this show around. Because I know you think that some of it, if not all of the things that I'm talking about, need to be changed. There's a lot of issues that need to be changed, and they won't if you keep it to yourself. Send people to the website, FWOTShow.com. Leave me messages on the Facebook page, leave me messages on Twitter, leave me messages on the Discuss page. We need to get this out a bit more than we have been, people. And now, I'm going to leave you with the absolutely frivolous news of the week. The Strong National Museum of Play has decided to have a video game Hall of Fame. I think that sounds kind of cool. The inaugural class of the Video Game Hall of Fame includes Pong, Pac-Man, Tetris, Super Mario Bros., Doom, and World of Warcraft. I don't know about you, but I'm thinking, shouldn't Space Invaders and or Asteroids be in there somewhere? Just a thought. Again, let me know what you think. Go to the website and pass it around. In the meantime, I'm going to be working on Wednesday's show. I'll see you then.